Hey folks, welcome back. Level Up Royal here with you once again, and guys, I know it has been a hot minute since I've been on No Man's Sky. Some viewers from my Icarus streams were telling me that there was a new update, so of course I had to log in and check that out. But we also got on the subject of bases and base tours. So guys, this one isn't beautiful aesthetically. The next one I'm going to take you guys to is, however. But I just wanted to show you one of my gold farms. These things produce about 150,000 units every 12 hours. So every day, if you log in twice, you can get 300 million units every day. It is absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm just going to check the health of the stream here real quick. In the meantime, if you wouldn't mind taking a real quick moment to like, share, subscribe, comment, I always appreciate those things. And I know you may not feel compelled to do that right now, but please at some point during today's video, please leave me a like or a dislike, and a comment would be amazing. Okay guys, it looks like the stream is okay. And I'm really sorry for that sound effect. I cannot, turn that off. I really wish there was a way to do that. But as far as I know, there's not. So anyway, I just kind of have to try to talk over that sound. If it's just, too overpowering, let me know. I can turn the game volume down a little bit. So anyway, guys, this is just one of my smaller gold farms, and I built this one in. You don't necessarily have to do that. Really, you just have to have a platform for those things to go on. But the key is to space them and double them up. So basically what's going on here is every one of these is a separate system. So this system right here of 2 diggers is holding 12,500. So basically I can go around and collect 12,500 from each of these system pairs, and these are all separately linked to a different line of storage. So that 12.5, it's on every one of these rows of silos. So basically I would just go around, collect all that, sell the gold, bada bing, bada bang. Now be careful, because once you sell all that gold in a system, it's going to completely trash the economy in that system. So the next time you try to go sell on that same system, it's going to be a garbage rate. It might only be like 80% of the value. And that does, correct itself, but that takes time, several weeks, if not, a couple of months or more. So anyway, you'll just have to, bounce around and find different systems to sell your gold at. So that's just a real quick, and again, that's a small one. And I'll show you guys here from the upper floor exactly kind of like what I did here. The main point is to make sure they're spaced, because if you put them too close, they'll fuse. And if you fuse 2 pairs together, it really starts dwindling down how much each one produces. So like that one says 510, that one says 512. If, these were a little bit too close to this pair, they might only say like 200 or 300 each, along with these. So it just really hurts, the bang for the buck on the digging machine. So anyway, I went a little nuts with this dig site just because, I wanted to try some different build ideas. And I've got my different levels here, the different floors. Not only that, I dug out a basement, and I was really happy, and I had a lot of fun doing this. But I was really happy with the way it turned out. So this is all underground, and as you place floor pieces, it hollows out the space. So this isn't terrain manipulator, this is just putting floor builds down. So there's that, and then same type of thing down here. They're just all, spaced, so that none of them are fused, and they're all paired up. And then there's rows of silos, which you can't see. They're actually buried into the earth. So what I did was I put a whole bunch of floor pieces down going out. I placed the silos, and then I ripped up the floor pieces to kind of fill the dirt back in. So in other words, I was putting the silos down in space that looked like this. It was just a nice long hallway, and I put the silos down that way. So enough about digging machines. Let's go to a fun base. This one's called... what is this one called? I might be on the wrong save file for this one. And you guys see all my flying mounts there. I've got many. But this one in particular that I'm looking for is called... No, this is the wrong save file. Actually, while I'm here, I'm going to see if there's any other bases I want to show you on this save file. This one was just one that I was playing with for fun, so that's where I got a lot of my flyers from. Oh yeah, the grow house. That's definitely a build I want to show. This is actually attached, directly linked to another S-site gold farm. It's a little bit more, you know, big and complex, so it tends to get a little laggy, but I do want to show it nonetheless. It's just set up a little bit differently. Instead of the floors, I had more of a needle setup. So, like, there's only 4 pairs going up, like, in a higher build, instead of so spread out on a less number of floors. So, yeah, I'll definitely show the difference there, but first things first, guys, I was really happy with the way this build came out. This is, these are all uploaded, by the way, so if you guys want to check any of these out, you're absolutely, you know, welcome to do that. In fact, I can show you planet address here. So I'll show you this planet address because this has the gold farm with it. So, you know, you've got 2 for 1 here. But anyway, same type of party, guys. I hollowed out a basement here, and I just wanted grow houses because you can actually harvest these, sell them, lots and lots of units. So that goes a long way for selling. And I had this hotspot here, so that's what's powering everything. So no solar panels here. This is all electromagnetic hotspot. So you see I got my vault wall. I got another floor of grow beds here. Bada bing, bada bang. And just to kind of show you guys what's what. This is just really for cosmetics. I've got some lootables here, sure. But, you know, I didn't know what else to do underneath the stairs here, so I just did that. Little decontamination room, never hurt no one. And so I never really finished this build. I was going to do some more stuff on this other side with this structure. But what I really liked about this build was the sky bridge. I'll show that off in here in just a minute. There's my launch pad. That's just a little goofy looking thing that I did for aesthetics. There's no purpose to it. I was just kind of playing with the different pieces, the different builds, trying to get different designs. And that's what turned up from that. So yeah, let's show you guys the sky base, or the sky bridge. So this one is nice for aesthetics, it's just not in a nice planet. You know, typically your gold planets are going to be these crappy, you know, barren wastelands. Minimal animals, if any at all. So again, I was just kind of trying to figure out the builds a little bit, trying to play with the 6-sided deals. And it turned out really cool. I just never finished it. I really didn't know what to put over here, to be honest. I thought just a bunch of furniture and decorations, but what fun is that? Like, you know, if I'm not growing plants or something, then I kind of lose the point of the build. So anyway, again, it's just completely unfinished, but I do want to get you guys up to the sky bridge. And I did kind of like an S pattern, and it's all glass. So you can see that panel there, the floor panel with the glass, and then the sidewalls, of course. That's all from the wooden builds. And I did one S-curve going off to the right, and then I mirrored an S-curve for the one right above it. So imagine from a bird's eye view, there would be like a donut hole in the middle here, which you can't really see from this vantage point. You'd kind of have to be like in the sky looking down on it. But anyway, so yeah, just kind of crisscross applesauced. And there was a lot of tearing down builds in the process, but I finally got it the way I wanted. And more part of the grow house here. So all that's just going to be the things for selling. But I also wanted to produce glass, so, you know, I just put a whole bunch of these down. So now whenever I need glass, bada bing, bada bang, I just take a few minutes, farm those plants, and I'm good to go again for a while on the glass. I really like playing with these signs. I think that gives a nice aesthetic to the bases. Same thing with the greenery and the benches. You know, the light fixtures, it all kind of comes together really nicely. So, one more look at the sky bridge here. I'll try to show you from the other. And I really like these hollow projectors, like you have no idea. I found these starflies, you know, that's my bread and butter on my base builds. I love that. It's the perfect color, it glows. I like the streamers coming off the tail, you know, it's just a really pretty animal to look at. So I tend to use that on just about all of my base builds. Although I have other flyers that also look pretty cool, so, you know, I tend to change it up from time to time also. Hey, the Bacon Buzz! Yeah, you'll have to check out my No Man's Sky playlist. We were just talking about that in the Icarus stream I did here just a little bit ago. And we got on the subject of base tour. I was like, yeah, I can log in and do some quick base tours. That'll be fun. So yeah, thanks for checking it out, man. Appreciate you. So anyway, there's that Starfly again. And I will put a link in the description below to my overall No Man's Sky playlist. Guys, it's just a smorgasbord. There's build tutorials on there. There's, other tours. I show a lot of these flying mounts and planet addresses for where I found them, so you can get your own if you see any that you really like. So this is how I did the roof in here. Just, it's open there, I know, but it actually works. It's considered sealed. And since there's no glass builds to fill in those rectangles, I just, let it fly. Because I didn't like it with wood. Like, I didn't like it being blocked. So anyway, just, again, a whole bunch of more plants here for selling. Oh, I was going to show you guys planet address. Whoops. I forgot how to play this game. Stand by. So just in case you want to come and check out the base in person, you can absolutely do that. Whoops. Wrong buttons. I've been playing too many other video games lately. And again, guys, I didn't know what else to do up here, so this is just aesthetics. Oh, I kind of know what I was trying to do up here. So I wanted, I just thought it looked cool, with the sky bridge, the signage. And I was like, we need some lounge chairs, and then it just kind of blew up from there. But I wanted to make, like, a mock of our solar system. And guys, I promise, when I put these down, all these planets looked different. And they looked like, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. I don't know the order. But anyway, they all looked legit, so I don't know why they all look like Mars now, with the exception of that guy. Updates have killed this game in a lot of ways, but anyway, it is what it is. I'll say goodbye and shed a tear to my solar system that used to be really awesome. So yeah, that's the grow house side. Now let me take you over to the... And guys, I'm a real nerd when it comes to my builds. I love sky bridges. Love them. I mean, you can already tell from that party over there. But, I just like to build these bridges. I've got build tutorials for all this. I just kind of go ham. And I see what looks cool, and I just get it done. A big allure of this video game to me was the building. I loved it. Especially the fact that you could tunnel underground and do, like, basements and stuff. Loved it. Doing stuff like this just for aesthetics, this serves no purpose whatsoever, but I love it. So anyway, here's that other gold farm, guys, and I know this thing looks like a nightmare. This was my very first one. It was an experiment, and once I figured out how it worked with the pairs, the separate systems, I just kind of, made room the best way I can. That's why everything's jetting off every which way. But again, with the needle design, that's where the hot spot was, so most of those, just kind of go straight up the hot spot there. And so that's that. I'm not going to take you any more into this because it gets real laggy. And it's noisy. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and speed daddle. Yeah, we had a good Icarus stream, Bacon Bus. I went like way north. I really took a detour and just went out exploring. I hit a couple caves. It was just a lot of fun. And I'm going to continue in the Riverlands next time I get on Icarus. Yeah, that Sentinel, that's the best ship I ever found. That thing was B-class. It had like 40 inventory. I was like, wow, that's my starship. And it's really well upgraded now, but it's an awesome ship. Best one I ever found. A pirate freighter, that's fun. Yeah, Uranus. So the funny thing is there's actually a Uranus, Missouri, and I stopped in there because they have a big famous fudge factory. So their little slogan is, "Get your fudge in Uranus," or something. I don't know. It's a good play on words. Alright, let's see if there's any other bases in this save file that I want to show. Oh, that's where I got the Sentinel, by the way. Why is this not working? There we go. Now, I think this save file was mostly for farming. You can see I've got like a lot of different mats there that I'm digging. The Glen Portal, nothing to really see there. Carbon Planet, boo. Treasure Island, that's the one. Okay, so it threw me off because I didn't see the little picture. So it is this save file. So I like to do these nanite farms where you can like build a build around a bunch of those curious deposits. You farm those, it gives you mold. Runaway mold, I can't remember now what it winds up as in your inventory. But anyway, you can spin that mold into nanites. So basically what I do is I'll build 2 farms. I'll go, you know, harvest one, and then I fast travel to another one, harvest that one. Then you can fast travel back to the first one. Those have respawned and so on and so forth. So you can just get like a crazy amount of nanites, like tens of thousands of nanites in a very short period of time doing that. Wow, so yeah, I think I upgraded to mine to S-Class also, but it did not come that way. It was a B-Class. But the thing was, it was S-Class stat. So, like, I don't know, it was just an insane starship. Like, I had never seen a starship with 40 inventory. So, you know, when I discovered it, it was the first Sentinel I ever came across. You know, I killed a Sentinel freighter, and then it told me to go here, and I did. So I didn't even know what I was doing. I found out by accident. The funny thing is I have not found a Sentinel starship this good since, and I've been looking. So it's a beast. Yeah, I upgraded it, so it didn't come that way. I definitely put, you know, the nanites into upgrading that. And of course, you know, I've dumped a lot of inventory into it too since then, but it was just an amazing ship. The hyperdrive range, all its base stats right out the gate were just amazing. And, you know, the fact that I can go about 2,000 light years in one jump, even better. So yeah, definitely dig in that starship. So anyway, guys, this is my treasure island. This is the one I did a complete tutorial for. So, you know, be sure and check out that link in the description below in case you're interested to see. It's like a 10-part series in that playlist. And I think they're labeled crafting base, like how to build a crafting base. And I take you from step 1, you know, finding the spot that I wanted to build at. You know, starting the build process, doing the basements, doing the underground tunnelage. I'll show you all that here in a minute. Doing these, you know, sideways builds or whatever for all this fun stuff. I have a build tutorial on that control tower. Actually, that's a separate video. I think that's in the beginning of the playlist. That was like the first build tutorial I ever did on my channel. And, you know, again, that serves no real purpose. It's just fun. Like, I love the aesthetic of it. It really sells the idea this is a starship base, having that control tower there. So you can actually go up the outside here, you know, up the stairs, and it'll let you in at the top. I'll show you that real quick. And on my build tutorial, I actually show how to put a stairwell on the inside also. Now, I don't have an interior stairwell on this one. I just did the exterior. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you'll have to check out that tutorial. But it's really not much to it. Just some, you know, looting to do up here if anybody ever decides to come check out the base. And I'll show you real quick. Whatever that's called, planet address. I'll try to get a darker background there for you, because I know that's hard to see on the YouTube channel. So there you have it. Yeah, Bacon Bus, you can really put some time into them freighters, man. Like, they're a lot of fun. I really like the freighters. You can build on them for days. That's quite a large platform. You can have multiple levels. It's a good deal. Yeah, mold farms, gotta have them, man. Gotta have them. The solar sail ships, they are fun. But man, I love flying my Sentinel. Like, it's hard to get past that. Yeah, the hover thing. You're right about that. So that was the main thing that you know, enticed me to stick with the Sentinel. I can just kind of sit there, hover, and I can blast enemies away on the ground level, and it just makes combat like really easy for me. So anyway, I've got a hologram up there. That plant or that animal is local to this planet, so that's why I decided to stick him on top instead of my butterfly. But, you know, it just really looks legit. It looks like an actual control tower up here. So, again, it serves no real purpose other than maybe a little bit of looting and aesthetics. But I just have fun. Oh, I cannot believe I didn't, like, wreck my health on that fall. So anyway, normally, again, I would have a stairwell going up on the inside also. So this is just a little, you know, aesthetic thing, but this is one way down into my basement. And, you know what, I'll come back to the basement here in a moment. I kind of just want to finish the tour of the outside buildings here first. Again, you know, I get nerdy with my bridges, and guys, I got a massive couple of bridges on this map. I got one going way the heck out there. This one was just a real small one to get us from the flight pad over to this building. Just to get us another grow house, just another design. However, I do want to show off the Triforce for you Zelda fans out there. I tend to make chandeliers out of Triforces, and I love it. Hey, Sunny family, good to see you again tonight. I know it's super late, and you guys are troopers. I know it's a Sunday night too, so it's a school night for a lot of us. So again, just with my aesthetics, you know, I love these holograms. Not much up here, just, you know, a little bit of a lounge area, because I like the visuals, I like the views. And this planet, guys, is absolutely gorgeous. It glows at night. Matter of fact, I think it's getting real close to nighttime here. We'll be able to see that here real soon. And, you know, just with me and my decorations. But I wanted a grow house, and there's other resources here at this base. I've got the nanites here. I really had a lot of fun with the different staircases, you know, like doing the crisscross applesauce thing with the six-sided build. Definitely a lot of fun there. A little bit challenging, you know, there was a lot of building and tearing down in the process, but it was all in good fun. And down here I just got a little bit of everything, as you can see. And I put a store down here just in case anybody wanted to sell that and clear a little bit of inventory. But this also connects to the main basement, which is actually under that. That's not even really under that building. It's not under any building. It's kind of like out there somewhere where you see my base marker. So that's where the bulk of the basement is. But it connects to that building because that's where the nanites are. So yeah, I'll just take you down into this underground tunnel. I thought this came out really neat. I mean, tell me that doesn't look like a legitimate utility tunnel. You know, like in a mining situation of some sort. So I don't know, again, I tend to geek out on this stuff. And I'll show you guys the power farm. The funny thing is the solar panels don't necessarily have to see daylight. They can be placed underground and they work just fine, believe it or not. So I wanted the idea of a hidden solar farm, because unfortunately there was no electromagnetic anywhere close. Not only that, it's sealed, but you can still kind of see it. So I wanted to show people, you know, how I was running power. There's my vault wall. You know, you can just basically double stack those. Easy peasy. To do that, though, you know, I hollow down a little bit so I can place those down a little lower. Because otherwise, you know, these are just way too high up. You're kind of looking up at the sky trying to find the magic pixel. You know, this way when they're down lower, it's easier to access. So yeah, I just recessed those a little bit for that reason. And then, you know, of course, my signage. And this is all... This is the top secret base, guys. The nip buds are down here, so don't tell anyone, okay? This is top secret, classified information. G14 classified. Nobody tells about the nip buds. So anyway, just goofing off here, playing with the builds, you know, having fun with basements and stuff. And I thought, well, this could be kind of like a mining operation, like they're excavating. Why not? And the main point of the basement, though, is because this is actually a crafting base, so this is where I would spend my nanites. You know, I would go out and farm my nanites. I'd go up and, you know, plug them all into the spinners up there so they can cook while I go and continue farming nanites. And then, you know, I just kind of keep coming back through here to fill them up as needed. But that's just basically 2 large and 3 medium. That's base limit to how many you can put down, so, you know, that's max. But if you fill them all up, they end up giving you 10,000 nanites altogether, so that really adds up fast. Oh, Bacon, it's early for you. Okay, gotcha. Awesome, awesome. You've been meaning to ask me, how do you stay so fit eating pizza and chocolate all the time? You are not the first person to ask me. Okay, so I have a real sweet tooth, guys, and I do not have abs. I have an ab that is hiding all my other abs. So, you know, I've got the pot belly going on. I've got a nice big basketball that I carry around. And that's because I eat pizza and chocolate. But what keeps me fit otherwise, honestly, is just, 4 days of actual physical therapy, 2 a week for my shoulder, 2 a week for my ankle. That adds up. And then I go another once or twice just for, my own personal, like, doing core, maybe a little bit of arms work or something like that. So yeah, I tend to be in the gym a lot for that reason. But it's really just a pleasant side effect from the physical therapy. I know, you're not alone. I'm always eating chocolate, so you guys always hear the candy wrappers crinkling. And then it's like that subliminal messaging, okay, now I want chocolate. Alright guys, so again, this planet is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Like, you ain't seen nothing yet. I need to get outside so you guys can see everything glowing. But anyway, here's my nanites. So, this is one of my 2 nanite farms on this planet. And again, I just kind of work back and forth and I just, get them crafted. Lots and lots of nanites. And they always spawn in differently, so sometimes they're, blocking the walkway, sometimes they're not. But, the lighting here, the floor lighting, that came out real good. I like how this all just kind of tied into each other. And in case you guys don't need carbon, I put down a whole bunch of planters. So lots and lots of carbon here in case you need carbon. I mean, we all need carbon. So yeah, I know what you mean there, Bacon Bus. And the funny thing is I had a friend who was like quite, he was a big dude. He was a big boy. Well, he actually had, the old school 6-packs of soda that, had the plastic rings that kept them all together. And from the bird's eye view looking down on it, you just saw the tops of 6 cans together, plus that plastic thing holding them all together. Well, he actually had that tattooed on his belly, and he'd like win bets at the bar. He'd be like, I have a 6-pack, and then, they'd put money on the table, and he'd lift up his shirt, and, he'd always win $5. It was freaking funny as heck. Definitely had a good sense of humor, that dude. So anyway, guys, again, this is just all for aesthetics, and here's the beauty of this planet. This is probably my favorite planet that I've ever found. Like, the sky is always legit, especially at night. Like, this is just to die for. Anything that glows in a video game, I am all over it. So, like, this was definitely... There's no way I was not going to build a base on this planet. I mean, the water, the sky, it's just all legit. So, anywho, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Oh, yeah. We're going around. I already showed you guys the basement. That's right, we're going through this build now. And I know this looks kind of funny from this angle, but I was trying to get the longer hallway going for this angle. So now this looks like it makes a lot more sense with the way I placed these. They're kind of triangle. Again, that was just something to give the base a little bit of a finish off because I didn't know what else to do with this floor other than to make it decorative. So it's really just a bunch of decoration stuff, no real functionality on this floor. But this is the sky bridge that I decided to try holding up with, cable systems, and it came out really good. I was really happy with, like, the crisscross deal on the cables. And it's just a lot of fun to walk, I really like the fact that you can see out, up, and down, you can see 360, 360, 360. All 3 axes, I think, is what I was trying to say there. Axes. Okay, see, I'm trying to sound smart, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, is that a popular thing? Okay, I thought that was just his, so he must have picked that up from someone else. Fun stuff. Alright, so that's pretty much the interior here. I'm going to take you guys across this great big long bridge. And again, I really like the way this came out, especially with the piping. So basically these feed these here. So the 9,000 cobalt that's shared, that's all one system. I just split them up because it looked cool, with running the pipes. So that way the bridge had a purpose, it wasn't just here to have a fun-looking bridge. And the funny thing is, I actually went up to the anomaly, to unlock a spec or something, and as I was flying back down in my starship, I could actually see the entire bridge from space. I kid you not. Like, you could see the angled things at the top of the bridge. You could see the bridge, in all its glory. You didn't see any of the buildings, so you had no idea what it actually connected, but yeah, it was just really funny to see that from actual space. I could not believe it was that big of a build. Hey, Deborah Allen, welcome back. Glad you can make it for the tour here. So this is one of many. This is the build I did an overall, or a complete tutorial for, from like the ground up. So I showed how I wired all of this step by step. And there was a cobalt hotspot out here, so it's like right in the middle. So, you know, just for aesthetics, I wanted to split that a little bit. So these are not getting the, you know, those are not crazy big numbers. 137 an hour, that's nothing. But it's not like I'm going through cobalt a lot. So, you know, this fills up long before I ever need to come back and pick it up. So it's whatever. Like, I was okay splitting these up, in other words. I didn't care so much about being right on the hot spot. I was more going for, like, a pump house appearance. And I definitely think that nailed it. I really liked how that build turned out. It kind of goes down into the water here. Now, I hit build limit, so I had to rip the underwater builds out. So, you know, these were initially touching seafloor, but I guess now we'll just have to pretend, because, again, of that pesky build limit. So yeah, it's pretty much it for this base. And not only that, in case, you know, anybody took the time to come all the way out here, I wanted lootables. So there's definitely some fun stuff here for the taking, in addition to everything else the base has to offer. Yeah, thank you so much, Bacon Bus. Appreciate that. A lot of time went into this base, like... And then just to see it from space, that really put the icing on the cake. But, like, I could not have been happier with just everything that came together. The planet, the resources, you know, having the mold farm right there was just perfect. It was a nice build site for the way I wanted to lay the buildings out, because I knew I'd be doing multiple buildings and a basement. And I wanted all that spread out from one another, so, like, it had that kind of depth to it. And it probably took me... Well, that would be an exaggeration. I spent hours finding this build site. Like, I really scoured different planets, different areas of this planet. Just, it had to be perfect. So I guess that's it for this one. Let me look on this save file to make sure there's no other bases I want to tour for you guys. I think everything is pretty much just resources on this save file. A lot of experimentation. This was like my experimenting save file. So I think this one alone has like 400 hours or more in it. That one's kind of cool. That's an ocean base, so in case you guys are interested in that, I can show you that real quick. And then that'll be the last one for the save file. That'll be a quick base. There's not much to that one. It's really just more aesthetically pleasing than anything. Yeah, Bacon Bus, same. I have not yet done an underwater base. And it's always because when I get to a base that I think is cool, I just can't find a good build site. So, like, I just never do it. I don't know, one of these days I'm going to get way down there on a good deep planet, you know, where it's all glowing and just beautiful, where the sea life is awesome, you know, everything has to come together. Everything has to glow. Very good. Okay, I was getting parched there. I've been doing a lot of streaming tonight, so throat's definitely getting dry. So anyway, guys, this thing is just a floating base. It's out in open water. There's no buoys per se. What I did was I built out from land, you know, for the right height, because I wanted to be high enough over waves when it was storming. Bad thing about a fishing base is if you get it too close to water level, you know, the storm starts kicking those waves up. You put your fishing rod away every time a wave picks you up. So it had to be the right height. You know, it had to be close to the water, but high enough to where it wasn't going to cause problems fishing. So really, there's not much to this base. It's just, you know, again, for aesthetics. There's my Triforce, because I'm a Zelda nerd, and, you know, you have to have a Triforce. But I was really happy with the way the build came out, you know, just all these little details, like these little mini sky bridges in and out. I did hollow out the sea floor a little bit to make sure it was 100 meters deep. That way, you know, I'm able to catch whatever fish that I want. I don't have a problem with them spawning in. So it was just a very deep spot down there. I don't know if you can see that. Right down there. So yeah, anywhere in that hole that I made for the fishing rod is 100 or more meters deep. So yeah, from time to time, you know, if I feel the itch to fish, Wow, that actually rhymed. Maybe I should make a t-shirt. I have the itch to fish. But, and the main reason I actually built this base was because everybody was having trouble finding bonefish during that one expedition. So, you know, I also built more of these planters to make that one particular lure. The, I can't remember the name of the thing now, but one of the lures needed the Fossium and the Gamma Root. So, you know, this was just kind of a one-stop shop for anybody and everybody who needed to do fishing for that stupid expedition, the bonefish. Those things were tough to get, like, whole community was having issues with that. So anyway, again, not much to this. I just wanted to show the build. I guess what I can do right now is log out and go into my other save file and show you guys some of my more modern bases that I haven't done tutorials for yet. So these are going to be new for y'all. And I'll catch up on chat here while this is tinking. So I think this is my... God, they're all starting to bleed together. I don't know now which save file this is on. Let me go here first, and we might have to do a process of elimination. You want to see all of my ships? Okay. I don't remember which save files I've got my better freighter builds on. But, you know, I can show you all my starships that way. They're usually all on the freighter. Oh, okay, so here's another gold farm layout. So I'm glad I kind of came here now. Yeah, this is one I wanted to showcase. So I took advantage of, again, underground because you don't have to build. So, you know, I keep running into build limits with my builds, especially on these more complex ones. And everything counts, guys. Every electrical wire you put down, every pipe you put down, every single build counts against you. So I found if, you know, I went underground, it saved builds. The only thing in here is floor pieces. And God, I hope you guys can see this. I know this is awful dark on YouTube. I don't have any lighting or anything in here, unfortunately. But anyway, it's just, you know, rows and rows of the storage silos. And each one of these is connected to a separate system. So just like before, guys, same type of party. It's pairs down there, so that way they all stay separate systems, they don't fuse, and it really maximizes the output. There is an electromagnetic hotspot here, but it's like way the heck out in the distance. I'm not going to go all the way over there. But I just want to show how I set this one up because it was much more functional. It was much more easier to use. So this is how I did the tutorial for the gold farm. So if you look at that tutorial, this is how I laid them out. This is what I call the 12 pack. So every floor has 12 digging machines on it. Guys, I know this is super loud. I don't even know if you can hear what I'm saying right now. Sorry about that. I know those things are absolutely bonkers how loud they are. But, so yeah, that's how I did my build tutorial. I call each floor a 12 pack. So there's 12 pairs on each floor. So there is a lot of gold flowing at this one site. I can't even tell you now how much comes out of this one farm, but it's, you know, well over 150,000 if I sell all that gold. The only problem I have with it is you have to have the inventory to pick it all up. And even with all the inventory I have, sometimes that fills up with gold and I just can't collect it all to sell it. So, you know, that can be kind of nuisancey. Yeah, Deborah, Allen, hey, I know. Like, I definitely know. Like, I've got thousands of hours in on this game. And it just happens. Like, I definitely feel you there. The hours just accumulate. And I've turned this game on, like, in the morning. You know, I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make some toast. Oh, maybe I'll play some No Man's Sky. Next thing I know, the sun is going down. I haven't eaten all day. Like, it's past dinner time. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like, I didn't even do anything. And the day just flew. So, yeah, anyway. Good times, good times. Yeah, Bacon Bus, the freighters are nice for that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to be able to just, you know, go right to your freighter. Everything that you need is there. All your machines are there for spinning, you know, materials, just whatever you need. It's like a one-stop shop. I really do enjoy the freighters in this game. So without exaggerating, I'd have probably got about 2,000 hours in No Man's Sky if I added up all my save files. You know, I've got save files from my very first Xbox One. I've got save files locally stored on that one. And then I've got save files on my Series S. My Series X is just all over the place. See, I've definitely got a lot of time into No Man's Sky. I don't know how it happens, but the hours just add up. So, anywho... actually, before I telewarp, I'm going to try to catch up on chat here as best as I can. Where's my chocolate farm? Yeah, haha, good one. We are definitely missing. Yeah, thank you so much, Sunny. Appreciate that. It is definitely a cool build. Relics, yeah, that was a fun one. I definitely did that that expedition twice. I did enjoy that. No, I don't have a helmet light. Or maybe I turned it off. Oh, you said you can hear me over the machines? Wow, that's a miracle. Yeah, Sonny, you're not kidding. Talk about a lot of work. Like, there were some hours that went in to just about all of my base builds, but... definitely good stuff. Alright guys, definitely appreciate the chat. Thank you so much for that. I'm trying to multitask here as best as I can, so sorry if it takes me a minute to get to your comments here. Let me see what else I've got going. A lot of this is just going to be, you know, resources. Dude, that was a real pretty flyer. Guys, I know I need to do another video on the newer flyers that I found. Some of them are absolutely beautiful. That's a separate stream, though. I don't want to cross the streams. So, I'll definitely be putting another video out, though, on flyers. And I probably won't do that one live, because it's a pain when you land, you know, you warp, and you're on the dark side of the planet. It just wastes a lot of time trying to find them. So I feel like that needs to be an edited video. But yeah, there's definitely a lot here to show in the world of new mounts. So it looks like oh, there's one right there. New Galaxy, Gold Farm. That's right, I started like going into different galaxies. So I left Ulysses or whatever it's called, just to see what was there, and I still have yet to find anything new, so I kind of feel like it's for no reason, really. But yeah, let's go here next. Wow, Deborah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, 1700, that's easy to do, like... Honestly, I don't know how it happens. Like, I don't know how I can sit here for 12 hours and not even notice. Like, this is one of the very few games that can ever do that to me. Like, Breath of the Wild does the same thing. I can play that game for 12 hours straight and not even notice. It's just pretty wild. So anyway, guys, this is one of my sky bases. As a matter of fact, this is the one the rando found that prompted him to email me to do a tutorial for it. I was like, no way you found that base. But anyway... there's a lot of complexity to this, even though it isn't very big. Let me get out of here and go outdoors, if I can figure out how to do that. We're sealed in, by the way. There's no door. The only way in or out is to telewarp. See, I got the landing pad down here, and I've got the good old, you know, Zelda-style Triforce, because it's just not one of my bases unless there's a Triforce there somewhere. And sometimes I like to hide them. So I like to challenge people, if you ever come across one of my bases, try to find the hidden Triforce. Sometimes they're hidden in plain sight, you know, case in point, but Sometimes not. So anyway, I just built a little fish tank there. That was a lot of fun. And this is kind of a rough planet, so I put hazmat and heals out here just in case people are in need. And, you know, that's the only way I know how to power those is with the prefabs. So that's kind of why I put a prefab build here. Then I was like, wait, I can make a fish tank. Awesome! And, so yeah, basically what I did was I found a couple of different resources here that were close enough to pipe them over. You know, so I have a lot of separate systems running here, so I know this looks like a nightmare trying to figure out what's going where. But basically, there's the shell of the build. And, you know, there was really nothing else to build here. I didn't want to make it a crafting base. It was really just to house the resource tubes. So, you know, it didn't need a lot of space. But I put down this really cool, you know, holograph. And I measured that out just right so it looked like the holograph was holding up the building. Like, how cool is that? My mind exploded. When I put that down, I was like, oh, there is no way I'm not building a building up there. Like, my mind absolutely popped. So anyway, what am I cooking here? I've got Emeril. I think that was the main point of this base was because it was an Emeril base. I needed Emeril for... So anyway, when you jump galaxies... It wrecks your starship, it wrecks your tech, so you need a lot of Emeril to, like, repair your starship systems. So, you know, when I got here, I was like, crap, I need Emeril. I didn't bring any with me. Hence, this base was born. So anyway, you know, I just did a lot of pipe work to wire up the tubes and everything. But I think this whole base is Emeril. I thought I had another resource here. Maybe I'm wrong about that. No, I'm not wrong about that. There is another resource here. Hold the front door. Hold the front door. I know I piped in. There was something else here. I think there was 2 hotspots here. Or, you know, maybe I'm getting the bases mixed up. They tend to bleed together after, you know, 1,700 hours. I'm sure you guys can relate. Okay, so yeah, I just piped over. I think that's just the Emeril hotspot over there. I'll show you what I did. Again, I wasn't going through Emeril like water, so I didn't need a big system here to farm. It was just a couple of separate digging machines. Yeah, so there's only 2 systems over there. Oh, wait a minute. That's a gas. See, I knew there was something else over here. Oxygen. Okay. So yeah, the oxygen was this way. Now I'm remembering. It's all coming back. Let's get open over mini Mount Everest here, and I'll show you guys what we got cooking. So I don't know where the other diggers are. Like, I don't remember now where the Emeril hotspot was. I mean, they're around here somewhere, or there wouldn't be Emeril sitting in these tubes. Okay, so that's the oxygen. That's right, those go under. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I actually built on the hotspot. That's right. That's why I'm brain farting. So, now that I've let all that gas out, here's the pairs. So yeah, I did the same type of thing here, guys. Just, you know, paired them off. They're each pushing 500. This is an S site, so I really lucked out there. And, you know, we got Emeril for days. And I really liked the aesthetic of this beam, like, going right up the middle to hide, at least to the best of its ability, to hide the electrical cable. That goes right smack dab in the middle of the bottom of the build there. And since we got bad weather coming, I probably need to get back indoors. So basically what we got up here is we got, you know, we should have 4 tubes now for Emeril and 2 for oxygen. So there's an oxygen, Emeril, oxygen. And again, all separate systems, guys. So it was just a real fun build. So this is the one I'll be doing the tutorial for. That should be interesting because I built this thing so long ago. I'm kind of forgetting now how I even did it to begin with. Like, I had to get it started somehow. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun trying to remember that. But I'll get it done. You can believe that. And of course I got fishy. So guys, I need to take a real quick break and go water some horses. In the meantime, feel free to enjoy the beautiful fish. I will be back in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Well, I've got that down to a real science, unlike how long I'm gone when I have to water the horses. So you say you like ship hunting. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Not everybody's a builder in this game. Like, some people, don't even bother building. They just put down a 4x4, put a roof on it, call it good enough. Everybody has different allures for this game. So a lot of people just log in, go exploring, try to find as many, planets and whatnot as possible. And I've played it that way too, believe me, where I just took a break from building and I just did other stuff. But yeah, definitely the building is not for everybody. I've been told that before. Yeah, the Corvette building. I'm not real good at that. I haven't played with that a lot yet. 7 Days to Die. I do not Bacon Bus. I'm not a big fan of horror games. And it's funny because a lot of people ask me to play different horror games and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just not my thing. They're very popular. Grounded. That one's had my attention for a long time. I've never actually played it, but it's on my list. It's been on my list for like ever now. And I just never pulled the trigger and actually tried playing it. I always have, multiple irons in the fire. It's like sometimes it's hard for me to sit down and find time to actually try a new game. Okay, I don't think there's any other base builds on this save file to really show. I think we've already showed the ones that they're, were worthy of actually showcasing. Okay, I'm hearing thunderstorms in my area, and guys, I apologize, but I'm going to have to put in batteries so I don't get electrocuted with my wired controller. Bear with me here while I try to figure out which way these batteries go in. It's always hard to see the little pluses and the little minuses. Alright, thank goodness for wireless technology. So, anywho, I don't even know what I was saying now before I got interrupted there. Okay, maybe that'll motivate me to try that Grounded now. I don't know. Again, it's been on my list for a long time. It's always had my attention, just never found the time. Maybe I can do a rando streamo one day and give it a go. It'd be fun to learn a new game. I mean, I've been doing a lot of that lately. Might as well keep it going, right? Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. And I don't believe there's anything to see here, but I'm going to go take a quick look. I might have to jump profiles to show you guys the other ones I want to showcase. We got about 2 more bases to show. Oh, I can't believe I've been on an hour already. See, we were just talking about, like, how does the time disappear playing No Man's Sky? I'm not even doing anything right now. And we've been here for an hour. Like, wowzers. Cool ship. Oh, that's right, I'm on a different save file. I'm like, where's my Sentinel? So that's just probably some random starship. Get to a portal. Get to the chopper. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Ooh, Pandora, that's a fun base. I forgot about this. This is a really old save file of mine. And this was all about base building. So yeah, we've got a couple to show here. Now, I think this planet has changed. We're gonna go check that out. This was one of my first, like, beautiful base builds as far as scenery and aesthetics. Definitely a lot of experimenting in this one. It's a smaller build, so it won't take long to run through it. Oh, you said it's a great co-op game. Okay, interesting. The NMS, yeah, no kidding. It kind of looks like you're going back in time. And maybe we are. Space is relative, after all. Maybe we're going forward in time. Maybe we're going to a parallel universe. Maybe there's chocolate. Speaking of chocolate, what time is it? It's 11:30 my time. Ouch! But the question is 11:30 too late to eat chocolate? Answer, probably. So anyway, guys, there's not a lot here. Again, this is just more of an experimentation world, but unfortunately I think the planet has changed and it's not as beautiful anymore. This whole place used to really glow. And I know it's not daytime or nighttime right now. But anyway, it was just, you know, one of these 6-sided builds with different staircases going different ways. That's where I started getting the idea for like a chandelier. So again, there's not a lot here other than I liked how there was a cave here. So I wanted to be able to see into the cave from the building. So it's kind of cool, you know, in that respect. I just never really finished this build. It was more for like the construction of it all. And this is where I started getting the idea to light, you know, floor lighting, however you want to call that. And it's also where I got the idea to do the cabling to show how things are run. So you can see you've got a hot and a cold there. One's red, one's blue. And then, you know, the piping in the middle is for a resource. But just not much here. I think I put some planters down. The main point of this base, I think, was learning how to do basements. So I'll show you guys the basement. And that's really nothing. That was just a place to do some fishing. The basement. Yeah, that's right. So I tunneled down here. This was my very first basement build. You can see it's not, you know, all tidied up. There's dirt all over the place. I just really wanted to try putting vaults down underground, and it worked out beautifully. And again, guys, G14 classified here with the Nip Nip Buds. You can't tell anyone. And there's my level up royal, you know, portal symbol. Actually, this video game is what gave me the idea for my logo, believe it or not. I put that down in one of my bases once. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then when I decided I was going to keep going with the channel, I was like, huh, what logo to use? And I was staring right at that. And I had my digital imaging artist look at that and do like her version of it. And it was awesome. That was my very first like video intro. Was like with the blue clouds and that portal. But yeah, that's where it came from. So now you know. So again, not much here. Just it was more about learning how to build basements. And I don't know where my portal is now. Also, I was playing with the hexagonal builds. This might have been, as a matter of fact, the first base tower I ever did. I don't know if we can get back in. Yeah, we can. That's right. I thought ahead. I was like, you know, I might want to way back in more quickly when it starts storming. So you can see the complicated stairwell system here. And again, there's a lot of building and tearing down with all that, but maybe that can give you guys some different ideas like on how to do the stairwells. They don't always go together just right because, you know, you're cutting a 6-sided figure basically into a 12-sided figure or something. Or 3-sided figure. I don't know how the math works on that, but anyway, it doesn't line up. So you just have to get really creative on how you angle everything. And you can see I kind of did that creative thing here in the middle. And just kept going on with the stairs. Bada bing, bada bang. And this is actually the Atlas icon. I wanted to make the floor that shape, so I thought that came out pretty fun. And those are lit with lanterns so that it makes the roof glow. So I basically just recessed that down a little ways, and then I lit the roof up above the chandelier. So again, just throwing different ideas out there for y'all. It's a lot of fun to do, but just be aware you're going to be building and tearing down builds a lot, trying to get those stairs right. Alright, next on the hit list. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Cool bases. I know I called this Hyrule Castle, but it's not really Hyrule Castle. It's not like I tried to do a mock-up of it. I just have a lot of Hyrule type stuff here. Like there's a rupee, there's like Triforce, I have a little thing that comes up and says it's dangerous to go alone, take this. See, I just called it, you know, my Hyrule base, but... The bacon bus. Load into No Man's Sky. Instantly, 2 hours has passed. That is not a lie. Yeah, no freaking doubt. Like, good stuff. Especially in this game. Okay, so this isn't big on resources. The only thing I think I have here is Emeril that's digging. You know, I was just, again, experimenting with the cliffside idea. I wanted a cliffside base, and I fell in love with this planet. Again, at night everything glows. And you can see I've got sky bridges all over the place. Like, there's a lot to this base, so I'll try to take you through it quickly. But the main point of this base was the Emeril and experimenting with cliffside and underground bases. So you can see an opening up there. I hit build limit here, so I couldn't keep going, sadly. But I wanted to. You know, just that build limit became a problem. But there's my Triforce, and guys, you can actually see that landing pad from space. It is crazy! So yeah, if you're coming down from space, you'll definitely see it. And I think I've been forgetting to show planet addresses. I really do apologize. It's going to be hard to see that one. I don't know if I have any dark areas. That's dark-ish. That's about as good as that's going to get. So yeah, anyway, it's just kind of funny to see that from space. It's pretty wild. But I really went crazy with walkways. That was another thing I was using this build for, was experimenting with walkways. Staircases. You know, there were a lot of trees in here, and that's what one thing I hate about this game, is the trees and this stuff, they move around. You know, every time you log in, it looks different. So, you know, I built a lot of these staircases going underneath a lot of those trees, and it was really cool. It was like a forested walking path. And unfortunately, you know, the trees are just gone now, so I can't show that anymore. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably start, like, in the underground area. Show you guys the digging machines, and here's the little entrance. And guys, I found this by accident. Whoops. I was digging into that, I was digging into the mountain. You know, I was going to put some things underground, and then I found a cave. I was like, whoa, how cool is that? So, like, I just kind of went with it. So now it's kind of like a little showcase cave. A couple of different ways you can go in here. We'll go down first, because that's where my little secret Zelda cave is. Zelda man cave, I guess you can call it. But again, I was just really going bonkers with the walking ways here. And this is where the digging machines are. I don't know if these are paired. I think this was like long before I figured out the pairing system. And they're sealed off. There's no way to actually access those. They're completely behind walls. And I do that intentionally. So going down the stairs here, we'll come to our super secret, top secret hideaway. And guys, there it is. That's the man cave right there. Oh yeah. So, you know, I just really like the fact that I found a cave and I went to town with it. I've got some stuff down here to loot. That's always fun. I thought I had a walkway coming down here. Where did that go? I must have ripped it out for some reason. No, wait a minute. Maybe some of the dirt filled back in. Hold up a second. Something ain't right. Yeah, the dirt filled back in. See, I've had this happen recently. That's not supposed to happen, by the way. Whoops. But lately it has been happening. Which is a real shame, but, you know, all you can really do about it is clear it back out, so... I don't know where the builds are that are supposed to connect over there, but anyway, I'll fix that later. So yeah, it was just another way to access that lower level for the looting. But it was just basically placing the floors down that would hollow out the caves. You know, that's why they're all so symmetrical. And there's the Triforce did giveaway. There's something up here. So this actually is a legit man cave. And here you got it. Level up Royal Symbol, Triforce. All sorts of fun stuffs. You can kick your feet up. You got your nip nip buds just in case you want to relax a little bit. And I kind of made a makeshift Super NES here. I know I didn't put a console down, but you get the general idea. There's your couch. There's your video game. And yeah, so not much to it. It was just a lot of fun, you know, playing around with the underground stuff. I really enjoy how you can put the builds down and it clears it out for you. Not only that, I turned it into a maze intentionally. I wanted people to have a little bit to sink their teeth into if they came here. So that's why there's all these different ways to go, all these little different hidden loot spots everywhere. There's the other side of that cave. You got a store down here, more lootables. I think that just takes you back outside. Looks like I got a tree on the way there now. Awesome. Or not awesome. Just another way to get down here. So hopefully that gives you guys a lot more ideas now of different things you can do with your base builds. You know, try fooling around underground. It's a lot of fun. Just know that once in a while you're going to come back and something will have filled back in. Especially if you hadn't visited in a while. That's normally when I tend to find it. When I haven't been there in a while. And that just basically takes you out to the landing pad. This is under the landing pads now, by the way. Not much going on out here. I think just the stairwell. Okay, that's where that tree was blocking our way earlier. So now you guys kind of know where we're at. And I also did an interior stairwell. Again, just more looting stuff. The interior stairs are harder than you would think. It's hard to get these things to snap in the way you want when you're surrounded by all these walls and flooring and stairs going every which way. I remember that was quite challenging to get sorted out. And I think that's pretty much it for this one. Let me... I thought there was a machine down here. Fossil! Hey, that's fitting. So yeah, try to picture these walking paths like completely covered in trees. It was really quite magical. Like, I'm really disappointed that the trees all went different places. I think this is just another way in. Yeah, another little looting nook. Looting stuff. Oh, that's just a dead end, that's right. This is all just like a little hidden loot spot. Nothing else really over here to show. Actually, yeah, there is. This should be connected to the rest of the base, so which means there's been more dirt filled in somewhere. Doggone it. And I have no idea, like, which way that is now. Okay, this is all just exterior walkways, and again, it would have looked cooler had the trees still been here. So right now it's just kind of a bunch of walkways out in the open for no reason. Let's see if I can't figure out where the dirt is blocking our way. Oh wait, maybe I just didn't go that way yet. I just didn't go that way yet. Okay, that's right, that's another entrance. So this would have been another way in / out, and I just have another little dead end hidey hole, but I liked how it was open so you can kind of see down where we were heading. So that's one area, that's a dead end. And then to reach that, you have to go around. So again, guys, the whole point of this was just to make it feel like a maze and a lot of fun to explore because you kept finding these little hidey holes for loot. So it kind of starts feeling like a Zelda dungeon at some point, which I think is another reason I named it, you know, Hyrule or whatever. And here's the other entrance / exit. Okay, so now we're back out. We're kind of above where we were before. And I guess it's time to go topside now. Quite a lot of land space to this one. A lot of builds went into it just in walkways and lanterns, like wowzers. Yeah, there's landing pad, main building. And I know it's storming, guys. That's not going to help with visuals. There's not too much else to show. I did get a little bit creative with towers, because again, experimenting, just trying to see how the different things fit. And I don't know why I started digging down into this one. I don't think I ever finished. So yeah, it just kind of goes into a dead end. I honestly don't know what I planned on putting down there, but So that's one part of the tower. And another part of the tower. This is all connected, by the way. There's different stairs and stuff going different directions. Excuse me. This would take us back to main base. Solar panel arrays, etc. Yep, okay, so now we all know where we're at. This really just kind of rockets you up to the top of the mountain. And here's the upper part of that tower we just took a look at on the inside. It's just more looting stuff. There's my rupee. You can probably barely see that now with the storm that's kicking up. But another level up there, we'll hit that here in a second. There's a pot over there, so you can extend your inventory by 1 slot. Not a bad deal, yo-yo. Okay, so I guess the top of that tower is just a walking platform. Nothing else really to see over there. But this is where I have that message. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Oh, it's not working. What? Boo. Well, it used to say it, because while you're standing here, it almost looks like the Master Sword, like, upside down. It's like it made sense when it worked. So, unfortunately, it's just broken right now, but that's it, guys. I just really wanted a Master Sword somewhere. If I was going to call it Hyrule, that kind of had to be here. But for whatever the reason, my message modules are not working. Oh, well. I'll fix that offline, if I ever even bother fixing it. And then just to show you the rest of the base here. So this is a big, long, honking sky bridge. Can't really see what's going on right now, but... Oh wow, perfect timing. Not really much to see. I didn't go too bonkers with this bridge. I just wanted something to look like it was holding the thing up. So I made that one real basic, because again, I hit build limit here. But I really liked it, like having the sky bridge with like all the planets and stuff, like it just really sold this base for me. I really enjoyed the views here. So again, just trying to make like the walkways, like getting there is half the fun. I don't know if there's necessarily a bunch of looting over here. Kind of funny, the light turns on, but it goes off in the tunnels when you need them on, like... And I think I just did this as a lookout point, because, like, how cool is that? The rings of Saturn, like, glistening off the water there, like, very cool. I really liked this planet for building. It's not the same, though, it changed. Like, it used to glow a lot, and it doesn't really glow anymore. Not much here, it's just really the tower to hold up the next little bridge. And funny thing is I burrowed right into the side of the mountain, right here. And bam, there was another cave. I could not believe it. So it went right into a vertical cave. And I know, guys, it's real dark. I apologize. Hopefully you can see that a little bit at least. But it's just a real narrow vertical cave. And it used to glow a lot. It doesn't glow anymore. But I just really wanted to build in here and make this the entrance to the next part of the base that was underground. So the idea was to do like a blue sky on Mars type of base. You know, have the glass enclosing all this, but that's where I hit build limit, so I just couldn't finish, sadly. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to give you guys some ideas of your own. So hopefully, you know, that helps you guys out just a little bit with different build ideas. Speaking of, I actually have a base called Blue Sky on Mars. And I do have one that is carved into a cliff wall that is enclosed. Whoa, I missed. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby. You can do it! Yeah! That hurt a little, but I'm alright. I was like, how do you recharge your suit again? So yeah, that's Casa de la Hyrule. And then I think I can take a little shortcut here, get back to our portal. And I think that blue sky on Mars is actually in this save file, so bear with me while I locate that. Yep, there it is right there. You ask and you shall receive. Oh yeah, absolutely, Bacon Bus. Hope the little ones are sleeping like they're supposed to be. I remember those days well. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for checking it out. Hope I didn't miss you there. It might have been sitting there for a minute. Apologies if I missed you. Alright, so this is all sealed, but there's gaps. Like, I was having trouble lining up some of these, so they're not considered sealed by the game. So sometimes, you know, you'll be taking your radiation damage, which is a real shame. But this planet was very Mars-like, like right out of that movie Total Recall. Arnold Schwarzenegger from like the 80s, or maybe it was the 90s, I can't really remember. But they had the domes, you know, on Mars with the big glass walls and stuff. So I was like, dude, I'm going to do that in No Man's Sky. See, I just went to town. And again, I was running out of build limit, so I kind of stopped. You know, there was going to be a vault wall down here, just furniture, just random stuff to make it look like the movie. Like the terminal is what I was going here for. So, like, there would have been lines and, like, metal detectors and all sorts of fun stuff. But, you know, that build limit is a real showstopper. So anyway, that's kind of what I did in here. I just tried to line things up as best as I could with the different angles of the walls, but I wanted it to fill into the rock, so I had to angle it, you know, so it was more form-fitting. Unfortunately, I couldn't just put a straight wall across. Well, maybe I could have, but there would have been a lot of like rocks sticking out above and below, and to make it look more legit like the movie, there couldn't be any rock in the way. So, you know, that was a little bit of a challenge, but I got it worked out. And I think my solar panels and stuff are hiding under this. Yeah, you can't even see them. I really just had the one vault there for mats. And then, again, with that problem with dirt filling back in, just to kind of show you guys what this looks like from the upper level. Very freaking cool the way that came out. Sometimes dirt will fill in, like blocking my way back up, but it looks like we're good this time. Awesome. And I felt like we needed lighting in here, but this kind of spits us out on another part of this mountain peak. So really this is just nothing but a big stairwell. And of course level up Royal, booyah. And now we're at the summit of the peak, so there was just enough rock left, you know, to make a roof. And out here it takes us to some more flat spot on top of the summit here, and landing pads, and it looks like there's something in the way there. That's not awesome. And again, just, you know, with that idea with the wall. Not much over here, just another sky bridge. There was this little fun part where the mountain kind of stuck out across the way, so I thought a sky bridge would be really fun, but you guys have seen a few of these now. That was just kind of a way to set the cables, really. And yeah, I just hit build limit, so this is where it stopped. But it was a lot of fun, you know. I have a blast doing these builds, because it's always different. You know, you have to work with the terrain, so the terrain is never going to be the same in two locations. So that makes builds like this different every single time. And this is probably where a few hundred of my 2,000 hours came from, right here at this base. So, anywho, let's go ahead and ski-daddle. That's right, there's two ways in here. It's kind of funny the way that summit was shaped. Like, there was a way to make two ways in and two ways out. I really like how all that came together. And just so you can see how I did my stairwell, you got two side stairs going into the main stair. So you've got this little, like, balcony walkway here. I've been meaning to replicate that in other bases, I just keep forgetting. Where's my portal? Oh, there it is. Alright, so that's blue sky on Mars. I think that's pretty much it for this save file. Gold Rush and Gold Site S. I can't remember now what kind of gold farms those look like, but honestly, you've already kind of seen the ones that mattered. So let's go ahead and skedaddle. And now I actually have to jump profiles. And I love how they let you do that right from the main menu here. I don't have to go through the main Xbox to do this. So this is the save file I usually use for experimentation. Like offline, none of my friends can see I'm doing this, you know, when I just need to be left alone to focus. And to actually do work, you know, getting ready for a stream or something. In fact, this is where I came to do my quick start guide, because the first one I did, the audio wasn't working. Like, it cut out partway through the stream. So I had to completely redo the entire first part of the game, which was not awesome. But yeah, this was a real cool save file, because I did some base builds here I want to show. And then that'll be the end of the stream here. So about 2 more bases and we'll be all set for the night. Uh-oh, what's going on here? This is taking longer than normal to think, which... Okay, I thought we were going to crash there. Okay, so I took that Skybase idea and I really went to town with it here. Matter of fact, I applied lessons from both Skybases into this base. And guys, there's a flyer here. These things are absolutely gorgeous. I will show you a quick planet address because you might be interested in coming here for your own flyer. And I'm 99% sure I uploaded this base, but just in case I didn't, you know, I'll re-upload it. But let's show you that planet address so I don't forget it this time. Boom, baby. So yeah, these are absolutely gorgeous flyers. All you gotta do is feed them. Oh no! I don't have pellets? That's a fail. I always keep pellets in my inventory so I can hit these when I want. Uh-oh, what just happened? I knew that was going to happen. By the time I got that figured out, he'd be gone. Okay, so yeah, just feed them. And they have to be landing. So like if they don't land, it's not going to be a mount. But if you see one on the ground, absolutely you can mount that. So I can't adopt him, but that's okay. We can ride him, so I can show you the beauty of this flyer. And of course there's my level up royal portal aesthetic. You know, coming in that sky bridge, you'll get to see that when we land here. But yeah, guys, I just had a lot of fun flying this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. It glows. It's real pretty to look at during the day. So, you know, feel free to come get your very own flyer. And I've got a couple of resources piped over to this base, which was the main reason I put the base build down, because I had multiple resources here. So, you know, they're different directions. I just basically piped them over. You can see one goes off that direction. Another one goes off that direction. So I'll take you inside here. There's, again, level up royal. And here's that sky bridge. That came out really nice with the signage. Like, I thought that was definitely on point. And as soon as you get in here, you're protected. No problems from the weather. So anyway, guys, this is going to be a very tough base to see. Let me get Captain Tight Pants out of the picture here. Why do I call him Captain Tight Pants? Well, because he has tight pants. And you can't really see his tight pants right now, I guess because I'm not zoomed in properly. But anyway, yeah, he's definitely got tight pants. So, welcome to Mr. Captain Tight Pants. Or he's Admiral, because we own a fleet now. So, Admiral Tight Pants. And, yeah, butterfly dragons. So, funny thing is, I call them luck dragons from, like, the Neverending Story. And I know it's not as big as the luck dragon, and it doesn't have a dog face, but it's got that elongated body, and it's just really pretty. I like how it flies, like... They definitely got the motions right on that thing. And you can see I definitely did that on my aesthetics on the interior. But I did a chandelier in here, you know, for my hidden Triforce. And I really got creative with the flooring and the different levels in here. So first and foremost, I wanted good visuals. Like, it was a pretty planet. I wanted to show that off a little bit. So I got a platform jetting out here so you can see the prettiness of it all. And it looks better by day. You know, it's kind of ugly at night. But, I don't know why I chose that. I think I was running out of ideas. So anyway, yeah, I definitely got the chandelier there. I've got, you know, the different platforms and floors. We've got nitrogen coming in on that side. We've got paphyrinium coming in on that side. So you got 2 resources right there. You can get your grubby little mitts on, easy peasy. And then from here, I put another floor going down. And this one was kind of challenging because it started getting involved with the glass builds. So I know it's not perfect, guys. You know, I did my best here. But I finally got that wedged in there a way to make the stairwell actually usable. And down low enough to where I could squeeze the vaults in. Because the vaults are big. They're big mamas and they're big papas. So, you know, they were kind of protruding up through the upper floor. So I kind of had to recess that down a little ways. And then I had to kind of pop this up a little ways. That's why there's this little step up here. And that, you know, hid the tops of these vaults better. So anyway, these are really just lookout platforms. But yeah, that's how I did the bottom floor. And I basically just had to eyeball all these. How do you get rid of this dude? That's right. So I only have 3 vaults in here because, you know, it's tight quarters. So I had to kind of be choosy on what I did. But I've got the 3 vaults, the save station. Of course, you always need a store. Every good base has a store. And the resource tubes. And you can see, like, underneath the sky bridge here, that's how I piped everything over. So I wanted that to be visible from the sky bridge. I forgot to point that out as we were going across. But that stairwell just basically takes you outside. It doesn't really go anywhere. Just kind of down to the ground level there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun, you know, getting the stairs going up to the landing platforms and stuff. It was just a lot of fun. And I'll show you the rest of this lower floor here, how it connects into the stairs and everything on both sides. Just in case you're interested in that. And that's a or no. That's right, I just basically pushed the stairs off this large triangle build, and that's why it's angled the way it is. So I know a little bit sticks out there, but I tried that every which way, and that was really the best way to do it. Otherwise, this, you know, if I kept that straight coming off the main stairs, it doesn't snap. I don't know why, it just does not want to snap. So anyway, you know, you got some carbon down here, just again a little lookout walkway. Not really much else to this build. So when I do the build tutorial for this particular base, you can make these as tall as you want. You know, I could have made this, you know, multiple levels high and then capped it off the same way. Just with all these sky... I don't know what you call that. Sky pane... Skylight? There. Wow, that was really difficult to say for some reason. So anyhow, that's pretty much that. And now you can really see that piping underneath the walkway there. Let's go ahead and skedaddle. Oh, that was a lot of fun trying to figure out how to angle those. To get them even? That took some time. Like, a lot went into making those things angled the way they are. But again, just showing you different ideas there for your own bases. Wow, I can't remember now what's what on this save file. This was the main base, though, that I wanted to show on this save file, like, for sure. Like, this was definitely one that I'm gonna try to model my tutorial off when I get around to doing that. So, The main thing is like how to start them. Basically, you just build your sky bridge over from land, you know, where you can park your starships or whatever. And that's your starting point for the base. So you start with wall pieces. You go up and down as much as you want, and then from there you can taper off the top and the bottom with the angled roof builds. So this really is what starts it all, is the sky bridge. So anyway, let me look at that base listing one more time. This might just be one of my standard gold farms, but I can't remember if I made this one into something more. Let me just go double check. They all bleed together after a while. Like, I've got more bases than I can even remember right now. It's pretty ridiculous, to be honest. Oh, I just remembered. There's a cuboid base. So if you guys like the cuboids, the prefabs, I wanted to show that too, just to give you guys some ideas with how to do those. I might have to change save files again for that. Okay, yeah, just a standard of farm. I did a slanted ramp so I could have the starship pretty close. So that's my my only landing pad at this entire base. But this was kind of a different type of planet for a gold site. Normally, you know, the gold planets are just dead planets, but this one was quite unique. So that's why I chose to do another gold site here. Not only that, I needed a gold farm in the save file. So I did my 12-pack design. You can really see that really well now. This is my go-to because it really maximizes the space for the site. And then, you know, all the tubes are just located out a little ways, you know, to make it so it wasn't so laggy. And that's where all the storage is for this site. So you can see I just kept all the systems separate. Everything's got its own tubing. That really, you know, helps to push a lot of gold. There's about 150 million here every 12 hours. So, you know, that just really helps with the cash flow. Here, take one more look here before we skedaddle. That might actually be one worthwhile to go check out. See, normally when I put level up Royal there, YT, that's for a reason. It's because, you know, I did a lot with that base. I wanted people to know where to find my channel if they wanted tutorials. So yeah, we'll check that one, but before I do anything, I want to check this one. This might be nothing, but if I did something different here, I want to make sure I showcase those different ideas for y'all. So guys, wow, my voice is like really getting dry. Like, I'm legit starting to get hoarse. I've been streaming so much today. Like, I did a morning stream. I did an afternoon stream. Now I'm doing a nighttime stream. They're all about 2 hours each, the way it's turning out here. Oh wow, it's storming. Oh, there's nothing here yet? Wait a minute. That can't be right. Or maybe I intended to do something here someday, because it says Frostwort, so like... Oh, I think that was just telling me this is a Frostwort planet. Okay, so there's really nothing here, that's right. This is just a real quick enclosure for the Nanite farm. Now I'm remembering. So yeah, we'll check out the level up Royal YT here and see what that looks like. Wow, long load screen. I must have a good build here. Funny thing is I can't remember it for the life of me. But normally when I do that, Level Up Royal YouTube, it's uploaded, you know, there's a lot here. There's mats, there's farming. Oh wow, I have like nothing here. Why did I build a base here? I don't understand. And why did I put my label on it? Did I go to the right base? Yeah. It's labeled Nanite Farm. I don't have the things in yet. Okay, I don't know. That must have been a brain fart on my part. Because I don't know why else I would have a base here. I don't even see like the curious mold. Like, I'm wondering if my base didn't despawn. That's happened to me before, by the way. This would not be the first time. I bet you I had a base here and it despawned. The balls are gone and everything. Wow. Okay, well, not much I can do about it now. So yeah, I want to show you that cuboid base, and then I think we'll call this one good. So let's see here. That would have been back on my other account. Oh wow, good luck finding the save file for that. Actually, I think it was this one. That's where all my flyers were, and it was a flyers base. That's why I overlooked it. So basically, it's going to be like completely full of just every plant the game has to offer and in quantity. One nice thing about the cuboids, you don't have to worry about power. They're pre-powered. Like, you don't have to run cables, so that saves you a lot of builds. So, you know, I got very attached to the cuboid builds for, you know, grow house type purposes. Okay, now let me look at these more. I'll try to study these a little bit better to make sure I don't miss something. Ice Starfly, that has a build to it that might be worth showing. It's underground, but it's cuboid also. And then that's the other one right there, Starfly Neo. Okay, I know where we're at now. So yeah, there's a couple of bases here I should have showed and I didn't. So the good news is, you guys will get to see not only the bases, but you'll get to see planet addresses for some of these flyers. So let's go here first. Yeah, no kidding, Deborah. Like, without a teleporter, I don't know how this game would be playable. Like, that's a necessity. That's oxygen. Oh, wow, guys, I'm getting a stream hiccup here. We might be getting a couple of drop frames here and there, so if it's acting a little bit stuttery, that's why. That's internet drop, but it looks like it's corrected itself. So anyway, this planet is pretty awesome because of the flyers. Now, it's nighttime, so they're not going to spawn in. But it's just a wreck on your health because it's a bad planet for, like, storms and stuff. Not only that, the drones, guys. The drones are out of control. So be ready for that if you decide to come here. It's a nightmare with the drones, but there's your planet address. And again, the flyers here are absolutely beautiful. They're kind of like purple. They're like bluish purple. That's it right there. A lot of fun to ride. And then I'll show you the basement part of the build here. So again, I did another underground vault wall. All the vaults are here, so that kind of worked out really nice with how that came together, you know, like 5 on each side. And just in case you want to get the flyers, you got carbon here so you can craft your creature pellets. And then I just went to town on these prefabs, guys. Again, they're powered. So there's a hot spot way down at the end of this hallway somewhere, like way down at the end of this hall. I'm not going to take you all the way. Like, it goes on for miles. As a matter of fact, it's 200 more meters that way. So yeah, I just put, you know, prefabs all the way through until I found the hot spot, and all of it is underground. So I just went to town on the grow houses. You've got glass for days, and I've already showed the planet address, so feel free to hit this up if you're in need. Oh wow, Deborah, so yeah, you'll never find those bases again, will you, if you don't have a actually, yes, you can warp to the base without a teleporter. So as long as you've got the base marker there, you can say go to the anomaly and you can still warp to that base. It'll take you to the base machine, or whatever that's called, the base computer. The bad thing is once you get there, you won't have a teleporter to leave again. You'll have to go back to the anomaly. But anyway, not much else to this base. I just really wanted to show the underground cuboids and how they work. They just snap right together, and again, they pre-power themselves, assuming you connect them to a power source. So as soon as I put down the electromagnetic generators, you know, it powered the whole thing, so it was really awesome. And it saves you on builds too, because you don't have to build battery, solar panel, and then wire all those together, so it really cuts down on the number of builds. Alright, next on the hit list is going to be... that one's got a good base to it. That's going to be more cuboid. Yeah, let's do that next. Wow, I've been playing this game for almost 2 hours now, and the only thing I've been doing is showing bases. Like, this is nuts. You know, in my mind, I was like, oh, we can get through that in about 20-30 minutes, tops. I had no idea I was going to be on for 2 hours showing bases. Like, this is absolutely bonkers. And this is a big build. I am not going to lie. There is a lot here. I think I hit build limit here, as a matter of fact, so this was about as good as it was going to get. But before I do anything, I'll show that base address so I don't forget it. I tend to forget that a lot. So there you have it. That's about as dark as that background is going to get. I hope you guys can see that. Anywho, so yeah, real cool flyer here, guys. Another luck dragon. Or butterfly dragon, or whatever we want to call those. Butter dragon. It had an electromagnetic hotspot, so it was perfect. A lot of grow beds. So there's floors and floors and floors of these things. Matter of fact, I'll take you outside here and just kind of show it. So every floor has 2 different resources in quantity. So, you know, that one's got the brambles and the ice wart, or whatever that's called, frost wart. You know, every floor's got 2 different resources, and it's got them all, guys. So every resource in the game is going to be found in this one build. So I know it's a lot. It's a big structure. It's probably going to make your game act a little bit glitchy. But it shouldn't crash. You know, I haven't had anybody crash in it yet. So anyway, I just kind of got real creative here with how to run the cable. That's really just for aesthetics. It doesn't serve any real purpose other than, you know, it powered the base. And then to wire the resources over... I've got 2 resources coming in. So we got ammonia and we've got oxygen. Those are both separate systems. One goes off that direction. Really not much to see there, just a couple of pairs on my systems. But again, I wanted to get creative on how to wire it, so that's why all these little, like, telephone pole looking things are out all over the place. So I'll take you inside the building here in just a second. I do want to show, like, where I got the oxygen from. Because getting there is always half the fun. The funny thing is there was a cave here, and you never would have known, because there's no entrance or exit to the cave. I had to burrow into this to find it. And I was like, oh, how cool is that? Like, if nothing else, just for the aesthetics. So anyway, I didn't really build anything in this cave. It was just more, I actually found a hidden cave. That was kind of cool. So again, just trying to get more build ideas, like how to get in and out of different cave build idea areas. So you could totally put a base in here if you want. It's, you know, temperature, climate controlled. It's just really neat. Having a cave build. I think that's my oxygen. Right? Yeah, oxygen. Deborah, yeah, you're not kidding. It was funny he said that too, because it's been about 2 hours now on the stream. Like, by the time I show you that final base, it will be 2 hours. So he was right on the money with that. Log in, 2 hours goes away. And wow, I can't believe I haven't seen the Starfly or the Neo Flyer. Normally they're just like all over the place. They spawn in at day, I think. So normally those dragons are like all over the place. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't seen any yet. That's unusual. But I'll at least show you a picture of what it looks like. Oop. Apparently I'm having trouble finding the hole here. Bear with me while I get right. There we go. So that's the flyer that's here. It's quite beautiful. It's a lot of fun to fly. I think I showed the planet address already, so yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free. And again, with the underground vaults, and these snap, by the way, so if you're using cuboids, your vaults, they snap right in. So that was a lot of fun, you know, doing vaults off the cuboids. And I went ahead and made myself a little store down here also. And that's one level, and again, each level's got 2 different resources you can go and get your greedy little mitts on. And feel free, guys. Like, it's really here for the community, and I don't use this much. So absolutely feel free. Anything and everything you need. That'll get you going. And like I said, it's in quantity, so... Ah, an NPC just landed. I would have laughed if that was another player. But, yep, just all the different resources. Really not much else going on here. It was really just all about that, so... Let's go ahead and ski-daddle. I think that Flame Dragon had another decent build I want to show. And then that'll be the... No, Spring Dragon, that had another one. So yeah, we got 2 more quickies. These are very small bases, guys. Just a couple of quick resources and the flyer. So I think that'll be a good end of the stream here. Show you some fun stuff with flying mounts you can go get your hands on. Hopefully they're still here. I've never actually... Okay, I take that back. I did have it happen once, where I went back to one of my prior bases to get one of the flyers again, and they weren't there. It was like different kinds of animals. I was really upset. But that happened during an expedition. So after that expedition ended, I went back to that planet, and then it was back to the way it should be. That same flyer was right there where it always was. So I think the expedition had something to do with that. I think they changed that planet for the expedition. But again, once the expedition ended, it was the way it should be. So this is just a real small build. And again, it's okay to leave these open. It still counts it as sealed. So, you know, if you're trying to top off your roofs, that's one way you can do that. And you're considered sealed in here. So you've got nitrogen. You've got copper. So 2 decent resources right there. And I think this one had power. Yeah, there's an electromagnetic hotspot over there. Electromagnetic hotspot. That was hard to say. And again, guys, this is really just here for the flyer. The resources were just icing on the cake. But this thing was absolutely gorgeous, and it's kind of hard to see just how pretty it is because the whole planet is red. But maybe I can get it up in the air here a little bit and show it better. And not really. It's kind of hard to see it off all the pink and the red backdrop, but get this thing to a different planet. It's really pretty. It's like fire truck red. It's got the little yellow highlights in there. It's gorgeous. So yeah, I'll show that planet address here so I don't forget. Try to find a darker background there. Booyah. And I don't really think there was too much else to the build per se. I just really got creative with those roofing pieces, you know, again, just experimenting, trying to find things that looked cool. And then I started with a basement down here. This was going to become a vault wall, but I didn't finish it. This is the save file where I hit construction limit, and that goes across your whole game. So I cannot build anymore in this save file, unfortunately, like anywhere. So yeah, unfortunately this base got cut really short, but I did want to show that going into like a deeper basement. So sometimes your basements are going to have to go really steep down to get underground really well. So, you know, I had to go down a couple of levels. So I just wanted to show that. You can absolutely do that. You just need to go down as low as you need to go here, you know, to get underground to where you're completely covered by cave or rock or whatever. So for this particular base, that was this level. So anywho, let's go ahead and get that last base. I'll show you guys that last flyer, and then we will call this one good. I can't remember which one of these it was. I think it was this one. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably didn't complete this base either because of that construction limit. So unfortunately, the game has a set number of builds you can place in the entire game. So like on that particular save file, say you've got a lot of builds, you know, with a lot of different bases that are high in build numbers, sooner or later you're going to hit that construction limit and you're done building for the game. Like that's it for that save file. So you either need to go back through and delete bases, you know, break down builds, and then you'll get some numbers back where you can go out and like finish off a base per se. I have no idea what that number is, by the way. I just know I hit it. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can actually show you all the glory that this base was going to be, but at least I can show you the address for the flyer. Then again, it isn't a long load screen, so maybe. No, I wasn't able to finish it. But I will show that planet address for the flyer. That's going to be tough to see that. About as good as that's going to get, I think. And yeah, really pretty flyer here. It's another one of those dragon type deals right there. I call that spring flyer because, I mean, that's like a really pretty spring green and it's got the yellow highlights. Absolutely gorgeous flyer. So anyway, again, guys, I hit that construction limit. I couldn't really do here what I wanted. I wanted to do another like cliff-facing base going down to the ground there level. So it'd have been like a multi-tiered base with like a stair-stepped design. Unfortunately, I just couldn't finish it out. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I guess that's all there really is to show as far as base tours go. Hopefully that gives you guys a whole bunch of ideas. Like I showed a lot of different types and 2 hours worth. So yeah, hopefully, you know, you guys have a lot to sink your teeth into here now. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick moment to like, share, subscribe, comment, I always appreciate that. And until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting. Maybe I'll actually show this one. I know there's not a base here, but I can at least show you planet address for that flyer because it's gorgeous. This might be the most pretty flyer I've found to date. Oh, Deborah, thanks for that statistic. Okay, so I knew it was 3,000 per base. I had no idea what it was for the file. So yeah, 16,000 per save. Noted. Thank you so much for throwing that up there. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty much ending stream here. So yeah, we might as well say our goodbyes now. Thank you so much, Deborah. Goodbye. Hope you have an awesome week if I don't see you again until next weekend. But yeah, I definitely want to get that build tutorial going. I'll definitely get another video pushed. Yeah, there's no base here. So this is where I got the scan, by the way. That was holding up that one base I showed a few bases back. So get that scan, and then you can put that on your hologram, and they're quite, you know, fun to play with. I don't see the flyer yet. That might be a daytime only spawn. I might have to zip around to the daytime side of the planet here so I can show the flyer. That's the whole reason I came here, so I kind of want to do that. Okay, so we need to go that way to hit day side. Wait, is this the same planet? Am I... I think this is it. No, I think I booed it. I think I went to a different planet there. Hold that thought. This is a toxic world. My other one isn't toxic. I think that's the droid we're looking for right there. Yeah, it's got my base marker on it. Jeepers. Oh, there's another player's base. No kidding. I wonder if he built there because he saw my base. Very cool. Or maybe he saw one of my streams where I showed this planet address. We're gonna have to go check that out. So dayside is gonna be like over here. That's gonna be like over here. Oh, that's a real small planet. No wonder I missed it. Might even be a moon. Yeah, that looks legit. Yeah, Deborah, 16,000 builds. I mean, granted, I had a lot of bases going. Like, I had a lot of builds in those bases. You know, that definitely went a long way. There was a lot of bases. But in a game with like infinite galaxies to explore, you know, infinite numbers of planets, that is a very low number. Alright guys, so here we go. This is absolutely a gorgeous flying creature. Like, it's a beautiful purple, the green accents and the black. It just really, my mouth watered when I first saw this. I was like, this might be the most beautiful flyer I've seen to date. So anyway, I will show that planet address if I haven't done so already. Try to find you some dark background here to give you a good address there. Yep, really gorgeous flyer. So I don't know where my ship is anymore. Kind of hard to see it. I'm kind of curious to check out that other base. Like, why not? It's there. Somebody uploaded it for a reason, so kind of feel compelled to see what's what. Maybe, you know, it might have just been kind of like a gas station for the system here. But sometimes players, you know, they put time into their builds, so I'm definitely curious here to see what we got cooking. Looks like he's on the same planet. I guess we're getting their snail mail. I do know one thing, he didn't take the time to rename it. Oh, it's a sky base. Very cool. That's something I haven't done yet, and I've been meaning to. Alright, this is legit. So I don't know who you are, but nice freaking base. Yeah, we're definitely going to take a quick moment and check this bad boy out. He's definitely got some time into this. It's small, but it's like legit. Yeah, he's got the plants growing. See, I don't know how to do this. He might actually have pots hidden under the walkway. I don't think you can scan those. No, you cannot. Not when they're planted. Yeah, this is very cool. So I don't know how to do that. I see this though, and I've been wanting to learn. I just haven't buckled down and learned it yet. But yeah, I definitely like his stairs that he's got going on here. He's got another level down here he can do stuff with. Very cool indeed. And I have no idea how he did that. Or she. Could be a male or female player. Oh, wow. I guess that's going to be another floor at some point. Right now it goes nowhere. That's like the moon door on Game of Thrones. Make him fly! Make the bad man fly! Wow. Yeah, this is freaking awesome. Like, I don't know who this is. I don't know if I can get like a player name at least so I can give a proper shout out. Last edited by D Evil's Owl. I don't really know if I'm saying that right, but hey, kudos. Very cool base, and I like that it's floating. I definitely like the sky base idea. He's got the holo projector. Yeah, it looks unfinished, but I definitely like where this is going. I might have to go back and check on this. And by the way, if you're watching, please leave a comment. Maybe we can link up and I can come back and check this out when it's completed. I'm definitely curious to see where this all goes. I like the balcony with the glass floor idea. That's very cool. Okay, so yeah, he's got those actually in planters. So that I do know how to do, but all these other things that he's got growing, I have no idea how he's got those down. Hey, that's the hologram of the plants I have above my other base. See, how is that happening? How is that just free-floating? Inquiring minds want to know. Alright, so anyway, enough fooling around here. It just gives you another base build idea. Basically, it's just up in the air, so the way you start these, you know, you have to go down to the ground, put a base marker down. Then you have to kind of build wall pieces, you know, all the way up to the altitude you want the base. And then, you know, once you've got it up here, you've got it up here. Then you can rip all those builds out and the base marker, by the way, from down below. And you can, like, relocate it up here. So you can't actually delete the base. You have to just, like, move the base marker. And then you can start building your flooring off that wall piece. And then it just looks like it's floating. So it's really awesome. I just haven't done one on my own yet. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call that. We're definitely over the 2-hour mark now. This final base build was just icing on the cake for, like, showcasing builds. So just definitely want to give one more shout out to D Evil Owl, I think is what that said. Yeah, give or take. Anyway, guys, just one more time, if you wouldn't mind taking that quick moment to like, share, subscribe, comment, I always appreciate that. And until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting. Peace out, y'all.